Hello, it is yet another Wednesday night, and it is the time we converge for the news bulletin that gives you news around you with the extra touch. Tonight, the country is in mourning as tanker explosion cuts short lives of some youths in Lokoja, Kogi State. On the flip side, government has taken decisions at the Federal Executive Council that will gladden the hearts of many. We also have updates on some critical infrastructural projects, flooding that seem to be in season now, and we have one or two stories on that. Plus, a celebration of sign language speakers. Of course, our usual focus on COVID-19 has not waned. Neither have we let up on stories that have the human angle, such as Nigerians are their brothers' keepers. We shall take a look at what is happening on the sports scene and check on the weather, whether you will be needing an umbrella or a raincoat tomorrow. That's it, but not all on the program. Wait for the rest of the story. After all, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Umar Buba, and this is News Extra. You're welcome. It has been tears and sadness for many residents of Lokoja and indeed Kogi State, following a fatal petroleum tanker accident early Wednesday morning with several persons dead and many lying critically injured in hospitals in various parts of the state. Ajibola Christopher visited the scene of the accident and brings us this report.
It can better be described as a Black Wednesday in Kogi State, as a petrol tanker with fuel ignited after an accident in the early morning traffic gridlock at Filele area along Lokoja-Abuja Express Road. At least 25 persons were burnt beyond recognition in the carnage said to be the worst tragedy that have ever happened in Kogi State. In recent times, the ill-fated tanker spilled its content on the road, the median, and it caught fire, burning trapped passengers in the vehicle, tricycles, as well as nearby houses and shops.
It's not the motor where they in front. The enter cutter. Catch fire.
I've come to first pacify all of us and also tell you that as much as government can do, we will try to prevent this kind of occurrences.
Security agencies, the Red Cross, the State Emergency Management Agency, and other good-spirited individuals have conveyed injured persons to nearby hospitals.
Some relatives were able to turn up, and about 15 bodies were identified and were allowed to be carried. And then, of course, they have moved the remaining bodies to the local government secretariat.
In Lokoja, Ajibola Christopher, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has reacted to the petroleum tanker explosion, which claimed 23 people, describing it as another disturbing and saddening incident in the litany of tragedies that have befallen the country. And Gufan Shaji has the report.
President Buhari, in a statement, expressed worry over the frequency of the unfortunate and large-scale tragedies in the country which are causing needless deaths. The president noted with sadness that many accidents are preventable if proper proactive and precautionary measures are put in place or properly observed as routine policies. President Buhari called on the country's transport authorities, traffic and road management agencies, as well as law enforcement officials to sit up and enforce safety standards with more seriousness. According to him, Nigeria is not having a shortage of laws and regulations, but the problem is lack of zeal to enforce those laws and regulations for the sake of public safety. He added that refusal to do the right thing can cause potential tragic problems that harm innocent people. The accident claimed the lives of travelers, school children, bystanders, including some students of Kogi State Polytechnic. President Buhari condoled with Kogi State government and the families of the victims of the tragedy. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Minister for Women Affairs, Pauline Talon, has described the tanker explosion at Lokoja that claimed the lives, mostly of whom are children, at Kogi Polytechnic as the worst tragedy in recent times. The minister, while condoling on the people and government of Kogi State over the unfortunate incident, hopes that proactive measures will be put in place to avert future occurrences. In the same vein, the governor of the state, Yahaya Bello, has expressed shock over the unfortunate fatal accident which claimed lives and property, while expressing his deepest condolences to the families of the affected persons. The governor also urged the students of the Kogi State Polytechnic to remain calm and peaceful, stating that he equally shares in their grieving moment over the death of their colleagues. In another story, President Muhammadu Buhari says if the United Nations cannot mobilize the world to marshal out a truly effective and inclusive response to the coronavirus pandemic, it would have failed in its core mission of giving direction and solutions to the yearnings of the international community. In his virtual address to the general debate of the 75th session of the United Nations General Assembly, the President maintains that the global community not only look up to the United Nations but count on the organization while reflecting on the future it wants. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
This year's General Assembly has as its theme, "The future we want, the United Nations we need," reaffirming our collective commitment to multilateralism, confronting coronavirus through effective multilateral action.
The pandemic has taught us that our choices matter. As we look to the future, let us make sure we choose wisely.
Addressing the General Assembly for the 6th time since coming to power, President Muhammadu Buhari said the theme captures the common desire of the world leaders for a renewed and revitalized organization in need of multilateral approaches to the many challenges facing the world.
The future we want must guarantee human rights, human dignity, human prospects, and prosperity. The principles of leaving no one behind and doing no harm must be expressed through accountability, strategic growth initiatives, and elimination of threats of all kinds. The global aspiration to recover from the impact of coronavirus pandemic will not be fully met without addressing existing structures that make it more difficult for countries to generate and retain their financial resources.
And in the nation's quest towards providing the future of hope and prosperity for all, the President said his administration has embarked on measures to ensure enhanced national resilience to be achieved through the Economic Sustainability Plan and the medium-term national development plans.
We expect that these ambitious initiatives will deliver sustainable economic growth and development to Nigeria.
To mitigate the impact of poverty on Nigerians, the President said 10.9 billion naira is currently being disbursed as palliatives to households as well as micro, small and medium enterprises, while the Central Bank of Nigeria has launched a 3.5 trillion naira stimulus package to boost manufacturing and facilitate import substitution.
We encourage global leaders, particularly leaders from the global north, to support the Alliance for Poverty Eradication at this time when the coronavirus pandemic is reversing gains made in the achievement of the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals and pushing an additional 500 million people into extreme poverty.
President Buhari described the litany of sophisticated terrorist attacks across the globe as a harsh reality of the challenges the world is facing today, and therefore called for concerted efforts towards ensuring collective security, including stemming the illicit trade, transfer, and circulation of small arms and light weapons to codify accountability in the battle against transborder crimes.
Nigeria remains deeply concerned over the illicit trade, transfer, and circulation of small arms and light weapons, particularly on the continent of Africa. Nigeria remains steadfast in our commitment to the revitalization of Lake Chad. Let me therefore reiterate the call for international support for the sub-regional efforts to raise the 50 billion United States dollars required to actualize this initiative.
The Nigerian leader, who also touched on migration, illicit financial flows, human rights, women empowerment, and gender parity, as well as quality education, on which he announced that Nigeria will host the 4th International Conference on Safe School next year.
I invite you all to Nigeria to participate in the conference, which aims to advocate for the protection of education from attack as we work together toward the future we want.
President Buhari reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment towards strengthening partnerships and cooperation with international and regional organizations in the task of promoting international peace, security, and sustainable development. In Abuja, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari will Thursday depart Abuja for Bissau to attend ceremonies celebrating the National Day of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau, September 24. The president will join the heads of state and government of Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Rwanda, Mauritania, Togo, and Liberia to mark the 47th independence anniversary of Guinea-Bissau. In Bissau, President Buhari will also commission a road named in his honor by the host government. The Nigerian leader and other invited heads of state will attend an official lunch hosted by President Umaru Sissoco Embalo of Guinea-Bissau. Nigeria and Guinea-Bissau established diplomatic relations in 1974. In the meantime, the Federal Executive Council has approved over $1.9 billion for the construction of a rail line linking Kano to Maradi in the Republic of Niger. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, announced this while briefing journalists after the weekly meeting of the Federal Executive Council. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports on this and other resolutions aimed at enhancing the nation's critical infrastructure, security, and economic well-being.
The meeting, 25th in its series for the year 2020 and 16th to be held virtually in the new normal, was presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. The approval for the award of contract for the Kano, Katsina, Jibia, Maradi in Niger Republic, as well as Dutse in Jigawa State, was a fulfillment of the promise made by President Muhammadu Buhari in his 2020 New Year message to the nation. Transportation Minister Rotimi Amechi said the rail project, when completed, would open up the country to more economic activities. He said the council also approved a contract for the design, manufacture, supply, testing, and commissioning of a 150-ton capacity railway crane for emergency and recovery of rolling stocks.
So this is to sort out if problems of accident on the track, and it's for a total cost of 3,049,544,000 naira.
12.08 billion naira has also been approved for the construction of a 45-kilometer Section 2 of the Umuahia, Bende, Ohafia, Arochukwu Highway to complement Section 1 awarded in 2018.
With this award now, the entire length of the road is now under contract to the same contractor, and we hope for expeditious execution.
The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, also secured approval to acquire 62 operational Black Maria vehicles for the Nigeria Correctional Service towards easing movement of awaiting trial inmates from custodial centers to the various courts in Nigeria.
This is to complement what we have already acquired between 2016 and 2019 of about 451 operational and green manual vehicles. The objective is to ensure that the delay associated with trial of image is reduced, if not eliminated.
The Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs has also been given the go-ahead to hire 8 additional field auditors at 745.2 million naira for the approved forensic audit of the NDDC.
Council also considered and approved the need to attach investigative security agencies, the relevant ones, to each of the teams to ensure transparency and also to ensure that whatever comes out is acceptable to not just Nigerians but the international community.
2 memos were also approved for the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning.
One is for the procurement of 1,800 units of laptop computers for training school and computer-based test examinations at 3 Nigerian Customs Service training schools in Gwagwalada, Lagos, and Kano for a sum of 351,540,000 naira with a completion period of 6 weeks. The minister also got another approval for 197 million naira for the expansion of Nigeria Customs Services cash management software in compliance with international public sector accounting standards. This, once again, is going to enhance the efficiency of the Department of Customs.
3.7 billion naira was also approved for the Ministry of Petroleum Resources as augmentation of the contract for the construction of the corporate headquarters of PTDF in Abuja. As Information Minister Lai Muhammad explained, the building has already been completed and put to use, but since governance is a continuum, the augmentation, inherited since 2012, had to be honored. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And the second Niger Bridge is gradually taking shape with the incremental launching of the bridge deck at Onitsha and Asaba ends. Kelvin Ugbeche reports that there is appreciable progress at the construction sites.
In spite of the coronavirus pandemic, workers are assiduously piling, casting different formworks for launching of bridge deck. The incremental launching of the 1.59 kilometer main bridge deck, which forms the 11.90 kilometer length of the 2 projects, is 85% gone on the north direction. This is according to the project supervisor, Oluwaseyi Martins, who spoke off camera. Pier stems of the bridge have been completed, waiting for the decking before shifting to the south direction of the bridge. The longitudinal pier stems of the construction of the Owerri Road interchange, Obosi, with 4 loops, are now being erected, while the 7.0 kilometer approach road on Onitsha axis and the 3.3 kilometer Asaba axis have been sand filled. The construction work on this national infrastructure is eliciting commendation from Nigerians.
Once when I pass that side, I even welcome that we say they try, but God will give them the power to complete the road.
The second Niger Bridge, when I came from all the way from Cross River State, when I saw it, I was very happy because we are suffering managing the first one. If we have the second one, I think it will serve better. My prayer is that whenever the effort is coming from the government, I pray that God will give them the strength for them to complete the project.
When completed, the north axis will give 3 lanes, while the south will still have 3 lanes, giving 6 lanes in all. The second Niger Bridge is located 1.7 kilometer downstream of the existing Niger Bridge and is built to be completed in 2022. In Asaba, Kelvin Ugbeche, NTA News.
Now, Nigeria in retrospection, a journey of more than 50 years and still counting, with collective aspirations of attaining full nationhood in future to come. Guests on NTA's Current Affairs program, Tuesday Live, take stock of the journey, challenges and gains of Nigeria at 60. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So is the history of the then young nation colonized by British imperialists and attained self-rule in 1960. From provinces to regions and later to states, guests say, despite the challenges of governance, civil unrest and now insurgency experienced, the unity of Nigeria still waxes stronger.
The way forward is to really face the challenges that are arcing to us, that are pertinent to us as a nation. We have the resources, both human and natural. We have the human intelligence to achieve our dreams.
We cannot say that we just can't say that nothing has happened. A lot has happened. Some have tried. But I wish we had the political sagacity, which our forebears, Zik, Awolowo, Tafawa, Balewa, Madubelo, the type of spirit of compromise which they had.
At 60, they believed it is time to review the voyage of 6 decades and place national interest and patriotism above personal and sectional interests, with uncompromising posture towards achieving a greater Nigeria.
Nigeria was their own thinking every day. When they are sleeping, their dream is common man. When they are meeting, they are putting heads together to see to the advancement of Nigeria, and that was the spirit.
We have challenges of nationhood, and there is the provisions deliberately put there to see how we can integrate and build a united nation.
For us to still remain as one today is something that worth celebrating.
As Nigeria attains 60 years of independence, many questions will be answered, while many will be raised. But the task of nation building rests on the shoulders of both the leaders and the led. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
On Wednesday, the 23rd of September 1987, Katsina State was created out of the then Kaduna State by the then military administration of General Ibrahim Babangida. The idea was for the socio-political transformation of the area. It is 33 years today. How far so far? In this next report, the correspondent on special assignment x-rays some of the great strides recorded since the state was created.
The decision by the Babangida administration 33 years ago to create Katsina State out of the then Kaduna State was received with happiness by most citizens of the new state, who all believed that the creation was a new dawn.
Happy in the sense that what our elders have been agitating for came to light, and we gave thanks to Allah, then to General Ibrahim Babangida.
I was so happy to see that my state is going to be developed.
When the state was created, it was just like a local government headquarters. Good government now in state what it looks like, compared with any other state capital.
I was very happy that, of course, when they did create a state, it means, development is coming to your window.
From inception to date, the state has been governed by governors and military administrators, contributing their quota to the development of the state.
I want people to remember after 30 years that there was somebody who came and did this and the evidence is there. Why people respect Chief Obafemi Olo in the Western Nigeria up to date? It was because he invested in education, massively gave them education.
The great strides recorded so far by the state in various sectors in its over 3 decades of existence had placed the state at par with several frontline states in the country.
The governor, who is the chairman of the Security Council of the state, engaged the security agencies and supported them.
His Excellency Aminu Bello Masari, as part of his restoration agenda, he drive the three sector together and put a heavy investment on that.
In health sector, we have recorded so many achievements.
He looked into what the distribution companies are doing in Katsina State.
The current administration of Governor Aminu Bello Masari in the last 5 years has also strived to build on the foundation of his predecessors' visible interventions in healthcare, education, infrastructure, security and human capital development has kept the state on track in its quest for sustainable development across its 34 local government areas.
Mine is simply to put in the best I can for the benefit of majority of the people of Katsina.
The state under the present government is emphasizing collective resolve to make and steady progress in taking the state to the next level of enviable heights of achievements. From Katsina, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has commended the chairman United Bank for Africa, Mr. Tony Elumelu, on his being named among Time 100 most influential people of 2020. The president praised Elumelu's vision of Africapitalism, which espouses that Africa's private sector must play a leading role in the continent's development through long-term investments, entrepreneurship, and regional connectivity, adding that it has just a matter of time before such caught global attention. President Buhari says Elumelu's commitment to the development of African youths, whom he has given a voice and empowerment, investing $5,000 in 1,000 young entrepreneurs per year across 54 countries, pedestals him as a visionary with milk of human kindness. Sign languages are for everyone. I guess you will agree with me. As correspondent takes a look at the International Day of Sign Language, please stay with us.
What's wrong with you? You just scratched my car with your pangolo. I said, who scratched who? You scratched me. I did not scratch.
What's wrong with this old man with you that scratch? Uncle, please, I beg, give me your phone.
And I'm calling the IGO police. Who is the IGO police? The director of the DSS is my cousin's husband. The head of service is my sister's fiance.
Uncles, please, why the scratch is super dangerous? Please, can we go? Can we go?
Now, that's it.
Find your first with the best data plans in town. Dial *777#. Glow Unlimited.
At Elizade Autoland, we don't just sell quality, we build quality. JAC Motors, assembled in Nigeria by Elizade Autoland. High demand for fleets of JAC Motor brands by members of the public and private sectors. JAC Motors are clearly built with one purpose in mind. They are built to serve. Elizade Autoland, sole distributor of JAC Motors in Nigeria.
My tailor no be your mate. He no dey for your grade. If he knock you agbada, your tailor go dey hail am. Anytime I want to celebrate, he go show the cloth, he no dey late. He dey sweet me like a chocolate. My tailor no dey disappoint. Tailor we go Harvard University. If they knock me baka, you no go the job like a baka. If you see my tailor, tell her say I dey hello. Tailor, oh that oh baby. Tailor, oh that oh baby. See you get it for fashion all over. pass your own. Yeah, yeah. My tailor don't be your mate. My tailor don't day your lane. You know they delay. If you knock your shokoto, your tailor go the lambo. You know they forget your trouser. You know they waste time. You they finish what you first date. If all know they sago. My tailor know they disappoint. Tailor we go Harvard University.
Make that switch today and enjoy all calls at 11 kobo per second. Free data on every recharge and double data for 3 months on the network with the widest 4G coverage.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Honorable Minister of Transportation, Chibike Rotimi Amechi, and the Honorable Minister of State Transportation, Senator Bemshola Saraki, welcome stakeholders in the maritime sector and the public to the 2020 World Maritime Celebration. Theme: Sustainable Shaping for Sustainable Planet, the Nigerian Dimension. Special guest of honor, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Mrs. Adejoke Orelokwe Arefulire. Date: 24th September 2020. Venue: Eco Hotels and Suites, Victoria Island, Lagos. Time: 10 a.m. prompt. Announcer: Dr. Magdalene Ajani, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Transportation.
The Chairman, Interministerial Committee for the Celebration of Nigeria's 60th Independence Anniversary and Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, invites you to the following events. Thursday, 24th September, World Press Conference venue, Obasanjo Hall, Federal Secretariat, Phase 2, time 11 a.m. Friday, 25th, Public Lecture, venue, National Mosque Conference Hall, time 10 a.m. Special Jumat prayers, 1 p.m. at the same venue. Sunday, 27th, Interdenominational Church Service, National Christian Center, Abuja, time 3 p.m. Members of the public can join the church service virtually by logging on to the YouTube channel of the OSGF at Official OSGF NG. Monday 28, launch of the National Ethics and Integrity Policy as well as Integrity Award by Mr. President to commemorate the 20th anniversary of ICPC. Venue, State House, Presidential Villa, Abuja, time 10 a.m. Historical Exhibition, National Press Center, Radio House, Abuja, 3 p.m. Thursday, October 1st, Guard of Honor, Anniversary Parade, Eagle Square, Abuja, time 10 a.m. Anniversary theme, Together. Please note, these events are strictly by invitation and all COVID-19 protocols will be adhered to. Chairman, Media and Publicity Subcommittee, Announcer.
Good to have you back on News Extra. Reactions continue to trail the Lokoja petrol tanker explosion as the Federal Road Safety Corps Marshal Dr. Boboe Oyeyemi received with shock the early Wednesday morning crash of a tanker leading to Inferno, in which lives and property were lost at a suburb of Lokoja. According to BC Kazim, Assistant Court Marshal, Court Public Education Officer, the Federal Road Safety Corps, said the Corps will increase its mobilization of stakeholders in its efforts to prevent any reoccurrence of such unfortunate incident. He further commiserated with the families of those who lost their lives and property in this said inferno, while promising to sustain the recertification and training of tanker drivers. We'll now take you to Mina, where it is said that water, that liquid substance that we cannot do without, even though at times we want to do without. For now, residents of communities along the River Niger in Borgu local government area of Niger State are praying for water to go away as rampaging flood incidences have claimed lives and washed away farmlands. Abdullahi Ibrahim, who visited some of the affected communities and those prone to flooding in the area, tells us more.
To the Nigeria Meteorological Agency NIMET's prediction of the occurrence of flood in some states of the Federation, 11 communities along the River Niger in Borgu local government area of Niger State have been affected. Some residents of the riverine communities who reacted to the incident say the flood was as a result of water spill from the Kainji Dam occasioned by the heavy downpour. I'm facing a very difficult situation. I'm appealing to government to come to our aid. The flood destroyed our farm crops. We were informed by our emir, but before then, we have planted our crops. Others on the flood-prone areas attest to taking precautionary measures given them during sensitization on the possibilities of flooding. The flood destroyed our farms and we lost women and children in the process. The flooding resulted in loss of lives and property, destruction of farms, and damage to houses. Disaster Officer Barguluku Government, Musa Kidebi, who spoke on the council's role in mitigating disaster occurrence in the area, appealed to the people in the riverine communities to move to safer upland area. It is a clear indication that more sensitization and awareness campaign need to be done to the communities located along River Niger to forestall unpleasant experiences in the event of a flood. In Gungumbusa, Barguluku Government Area of Niger State, Abdullah Ibrahim, NTA News.
To be forewarned is to be forearmed. That is the saying. Gombe State is one of the states warned about impending flooding this year. Already, other states in that axis have their hands full with the disaster. Well, as a proactive measure to mitigate the natural disaster, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has engaged critical stakeholders to re-echo the warning. Zara Umar Adamu was a witness.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency 2020 seasonal rainfall prediction warning of heavy flooding that will be caused by torrential rains and the occurrence of floods in many parts of the country necessitated the engagement with critical stakeholders.
Come and make this advocacy visit and give messages, because the Director General and the Minister for Humanitarian and Disaster Management were directed by Mr. President to make sure people are sensitized.
Calling of the stakeholders is to see how awareness and sensitization can be created, and that is why they've been called, so that we put our heads together to see how we can collaborate together.
In our proactive measures, we decided, instead of waiting for these floods to happen, we should take steps to prevent as well as to prepare.
The team met with the Secretary to Gombe State Government, Professor Ibrahim Jodi, to pass the message across for government's quick response. The representatives of the Nigerian Police Force, Civil Defense, NOWA, Red Cross Society, among other stakeholders attended the meeting. Zara Umar Adamu, NTA News.
We'll take you to Lagos now, where Nigeria has again recorded a major achievement in its quest to preserve the environment with the inauguration of its first ozone layer-friendly system house in Lagos. Hingino John Adams reports that the project is the second in Africa.
Saving the ozone layer is a common goal for all countries of the world. To this end, attention has shifted to the use of environment-friendly components. Nigeria is in tune with this master plan and the introduction of this system house for the production of methyl formate-based pre-blended polyols in the rigid polyurethane foam sector is in that regard.
After thorough analysis of alternative blowing agent used in the foam sector, the most suitable and cost-effective one for Nigeria appeared to be methyl formate. Therefore, Nigeria chose methyl formate as the alternative blowing agent because of its cost-effectiveness, good solubility, low volatility, and good system stability.
The minister is confident that apart from its non-depleting effect on the ozone layer, which will reduce global warming, the system will, among other gains, generate foreign exchange, build local capacity in the formulation of methyl formate-based systems, and consequently generate employment and wealth. The minister also inaugurated and handed over pressure forming machines to beneficiaries in the refrigeration and air conditioning manufacturing sector. The machines are also designed to be environment friendly. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
Now, If I begin to communicate with you using hand gestures, I'm sure some of you will be lost. But for some special persons out there, that may gladden their hearts because that is the language they understand. Well, to make a difference and ensure that everyone is carried along, International Day of Sign Languages is commemorated every year on the 23rd of September to promote, protect, and preserve sign language. Ruth Aguele has the report.
They are not different from normal persons. The only difference is how they communicate. To bridge communication gap for over 72 million people around the world who have hearing impairment and carry them along is the essence of the International Day of Sign Languages to enshrine their rights and promote sign language all over the world. Martha Aga wasn't born with a challenge. She got ill at the age of 7 and discovered that she couldn't hear again. For Martha, the torture of trying to understand what people say around her or what she's trying to communicate was very frustrating.
So when everybody is sitting on the dining table, eating and talking and laughing, cracking jokes, I miss out, I feel left out. Sign language really came in and uplift, make my life better.
Bamidele Olayinka has been a sign language interpreter for more than 20 years, a skill he learned by chance during evangelism because he needed to communicate with people with special needs, and over time it has become a part of him.
It's not a passion for me. I'm even struggling really hard not to sign right now. So, but indeed, sign language is a very, very interesting language that all of us, all humans, need to learn because it develops the cognitive capacity of the human brain. I want to beg all, including the government, to please make sign language a national language for all people.
For easy communication for Fatima Doki and her son, she had to get enrolled to learn sign language.
If you have a deaf child, there should be where you go to, maybe a center in the hospital or a center where you as a parent of the deaf can go to. You learn this sign language early enough so that you'll be able to communicate fluently with your child. The awareness is not there.
You are not deaf, but a deaf person meets you. If a deaf person meets you, how do you communicate? We are using this opportunity to create awareness so that people will change their attitude from saying that it is not me, after all, I'm not deaf.
To build an all-inclusive society for all, more people are encouraged to learn sign language to create a world where everyone counts.
You are welcome.
In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
Well, thank you, Ruth. NTA loves you all. It's a skill we really need to, learn. Now, there is a sense of hope and social inclusion for persons with disabilities. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development made this known during a visit by the Nigerian National Association of the Deaf to the ministry to commemorate the International Week of the Deaf, which begins from 24th to 30th September to raise awareness for these categories of persons. Again, Ruth Aguele has that.
Along with the International Week of the Deaf, we thank you very, very much.
Their daily struggle goes beyond what many can imagine. All they want is for you to hear them, be able to communicate their plight for better understanding and possible solution. In recognition of these challenges, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is already a step ahead in carrying them along with the establishment of the Disability Commission to assuage some of their challenges.
The federal government, through the ministry, will leave no stone unturned to ensure that all persons with disabilities in Nigeria are carried along in governance by removing all barriers that hitherto causes hindrance for effective functioning of persons with disabilities. We'll continue to work with the deaf and all persons with disabilities to ensure their rights inclusion and participation in the society are given utmost priority.
For the persons involved, their recognition by the federal government will go a long way in bridging the gap of non-inclusion.
Exclusion of deaf person in Nigeria has been a challenge we face because anywhere we go, they only pity us. They think that we need help. No, we don't need help. We have the right to do everything we can contribute to economic growth and show that we have skills.
As the saying goes, a stitch in time saves 9, a reaffirmation that there is light at the end of the tunnel. In Abuja, Ruth Aguala, NTA News.
Sure, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. In the olden days, a blink of an eye from a mother to a child sends a strong signal. Gradually, such signals and many more are no longer recognized by the youth, leading to a fast erosion of the society's cherished cultural and social values. At a cultural roundtable on social values championed by the National Council for Arts and Culture in Abuja, experts advocate for the revival of the value system if Nigeria must move forward. Oyinaya Kalu Anka was there for News Extra.
For some Nigerians who had the experience, you certainly know you have to behave yourself when your mother gives you that strange look. Nowadays, the case is different. The same look is disregarded or questioned by the child.
You know the kind of parents we have, especially our mothers. You dare not even frown your face against your senior brother or senior sister.
Same with other virtues like discipline, hard work, and honesty. People whose way of lives are contrary to these virtues are now admired and looked up to as role models.
We have a challenge. We have something that is almost bigger than COVID-19 pandemic.
How did the country get it wrong, and what are the major influences? Top questions at the round table. Experts pointed out that nonchalant attitude of parents to their children and the quest for wealth, globalization, and the unsupervised use of the social media are contributing.
We have to judiciously guide what we have, and we have to try as much as possible to do everything possible to transmit the cultural value to the young people.
And to promote our culture on TV and radio by causing corporate organizations to sponsor wholesome TV programs. It is important that we do that.
Somebody said, if you lose your wealth, you have lost nothing. If you lose your health, you have lost something. But if you lose your character, you have lost everything.
The event witnessed the unveiling of the book entitled Morality, Culture and the Nigerian Youth, authored by the Director General NCAC, Olusegun Roshowe. He says he hopes the book will contribute towards bringing back the good olden look and its impacts. Oyinaya Kalu Oka, NTA News.
The federal government's drive to enhance fish production, processing and marketing for employment generation and wealth creation is gradually yielding positive results. This follows the establishment of model fish markets across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country to serve as fish hubs for national and international transactions. Nura Tanko Wakili takes a look at one of these markets in the northwest of Nigeria.
The project was conceived and designed about 13 years ago, but implemented by the Buhari administration as part of the Diversification Initiative for Economic Growth and Development. For the Northwest Geopolitical Zone, Yauri was chosen for the model fish market due to its potentials and availability of both human and material resources in fish production.
Fishing has been the major occupation of the people of Yauri. People are coming from far and near, within and outside the country, to purchase fish and also engage in so many fishing and fishing-related activities.
The model fish market was constructed in line with the international best practice, with all the needed facilities, including a 100 metric tons capacity cold room for fresh fish storage and preservation, an electric smoker, and locally made charcoal smokers, among others.
We have 3 units. We have the marketing unit,
the processing unit. The processing is combined with the smoke unit. That is the cool room and the smoking unit. The marketing unit is the one you are seeing around.
In spite of the flooding that ravaged communities and affect the availability of fish, these facilities and services minimize the impact, as both fresh and smoked fish are packaged and distributed to various parts of Nigeria and other neighboring countries. The fish being loaded here is one of the famous species of freshwater fish. It is called Niger Beach, and it is mainly found in Yauri Emirate of Kebbi State. And the destination of this is Niger Republic. Sadia Osman and Alhaji Muhammad and Halima are among hundreds of players on fish value chain in Yauri who said the model fish market has provided a great opportunity for players to expand their business.
We take it from here to Lagos, Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Kaduna, Abuja, nationwide.
Large quantity of both fresh and smoked fish are packaged weekly in Yauri and transported to various destinations. In Yauri, Kebbi State, Nura Tanko Akili, NTA News.
In Bauchi, team of inventors and researchers came up with automatic solar-powered hand sanitizing machine. These and more after the break. Please stay.
If you run mad, we know waiting cause am. Every time now this phone. Have you gone to buy more units for light? Give me this phone. Ha! They don't finally get you. Enter store, you go see one pink nylon. Bring and come. If you try am. Now that chicken where they use corner look me. Now I want to. That one.
Oh! So now why you send me message when no get with this? Shate. Make yourself begin to enjoy credit and data. Berekete.
Introducing Berekete. Activate a new Glow SIM and get 600 Naira free credit plus 700% bonus on every recharge and up to 100% bonus on data plans. Find your first with Berekete.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth. If the sensitivity is left alone, it may get worse. Dentists recommend Sensodyne. It's able to calm the nerve of the tooth. The proof's in the results. It works. Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth. If the sensitivity is left alone, it may get worse. Dentists recommend Sensodyne. It's able to calm the nerve of the tooth. The proof's in the results. It works.
Make a load recharge card, I beg. I don't find the money.
Plenty day to win for the 9 Mobile Mega Millions promo. 1 million naira for one person every day for 90 days. 2 smartphones every hour, every day for 90 days. 10 million naira star prize today. New customers just come with side or buy a new line, and we go send you free 1 gigabyte plus 500 naira airtime. So make you the recharge 200 naira or more. Make you for the win.
9 Mobile.
Is my time.
You are not going to spoil it.
This time is precious. Don't let mosquitoes spoil the fun. Relax and enjoy the moments that matter. Use Baygon fast-acting insect killing protection for your home. Baygon, take back your home. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
Close Up Deep Action with antibacterial formula and deep cleaning gel keeps your teeth clean and protected. Close Up Deep Action. Enjoy long-lasting fresh breath and more.
Daddy number 444. Ore mi ma lo fo. O je sare
Welcome back. COVID-19 death toll in the United States exceeds 200,000, just as Belgium eases coronavirus restrictions despite sharp rise in cases. Let's join Joyce Ometu for an update on the global scourge.
The United States has reached another tragic milestone, recording more than 200,000 deaths from COVID-19. A report by the Coronavirus Research Center in Johns Hopkins University indicates that the U.S. has the most COVID-19 deaths in the world. In the meantime, Belgium on Wednesday slightly eased its coronavirus restrictions despite rising numbers of COVID-19 cases. The Prime Minister, Sophie Wilms, told a news conference that starting October 1, the requirements to wear face masks will no longer be mandatory in all public spaces. Plus, self-isolation period would be cut down to 7 days. Meanwhile, France is to announce stricter measures to curb the spread of coronavirus as cases skyrocketed since a nationwide lockdown was ended. The country's ministers will analyze the latest surge of more than 10,000 new cases and 78 deaths recorded in 24 hours. Data by Worldometer collated at 6 p.m. indicates that global coronavirus cases have reached 31,887,547, with 977,350 fatalities. Africa has 1,429,793 cases, 34,403 deaths, and 1,174,714 recoveries. Nigeria on Tuesday recorded 176 new cases of coronavirus with no new fatalities. Now, this was contained in an update by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. The country now has 57,613 cases, while 48,836 patients have recovered. However, the death toll from the virus remains 1,100. And that's a global update on COVID-19. I am Joyce Ometu.
The foremost agenda of governments, individuals and health workers in the last few months has been centered on combating the coronavirus pandemic that has continued to threaten human existence. The search for a vaccine, among other efforts to curb the spread, necessitated the introduction of several measures. Lynn Leneke examines the implications of the approaches on the socio-economic concern of supply chain sustainability.
The new normal occasioned by coronavirus has changed the face of social interactions and business operations as well as transactions. With the prioritization of safety, electronic platforms have become the marketplace for sellers and their buyers.
It is a good development because we know that the economy has been locked down since March. Most of the operational facilities across the various sectors of the Nigerian economy are already down. So there is need for what will reawaken the entire economic space.
Government should look out for a greater economic activities. And the COVID idea is, to me, that we widening the scope of economic participation by all the stakeholders in the country.
The new normal also means the evolution of innovations in communication, with operators in the financial sectors like banks and insurance upscaling expenditure for ICT infrastructure to handle overwhelming electronic transactions.
It is the resilient entrepreneurial attitude of the owners of micro, small, and medium enterprises. Actually, it is not a written policy, per se, of the government.
Observers agree that overdependence on technology by the global business community will outlive the pandemic era, as the conveniences it affords has lowered running costs, thereby increasing profit margins. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
You know the adage that says necessity is the mother of invention? Well, the health challenges of the novel coronavirus has proved the adage, as it has pushed researchers and inventors to find solutions of some of the problems associated with the virus and other health-related challenges. In Bauchi, a team of researchers and inventors from 4 higher institutions of learning came up with an automatic solar-powered hand sanitizing machine that could be safely used in public places. Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed will let us take a look at it.
Necessity, they say, is the mother of all inventions.
It's a research engineered by the center through us to help in curbing the menace of COVID-19 through hand washing.
Although not the first, this automatic hand sanitizing machine is unique due to the functions it performs.
Incorporated hand detecting sensor that will detect your hand, dispense the soap, read your body temperature, as well as dispensing the water automatically without making any contact. And then after you finish the hand washing routine, you have the tissue by the side, which you rinse your hand and then dispose in our waste bin.
Governor Bala Muhammad, the ingenuity of the inventors could never have come at a time better than now.
You have provided an engineering solution, and it is very cost effective at the cost of 150,000 naira. Definitely, I will direct the Deputy Governor, who is the chairman of the COVID-19, to discuss with you with a view to producing this machine massively for use in our schools.
With most of the components sourced and fabricated locally, this team of researchers and inventors have vowed to continue finding solutions to emerging problems and challenges. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed, NTA News.
The assorted food and non-food items recently donated to most vulnerable households in Yobe State as palliative by federal government and other donor agencies have been delivered and distributed to the deserving beneficiaries in some border communities in the northern part of the state. Yunusa Suleiman, who was at one of the communities that sits on the border between Nigeria and Niger Republic, reports that the State Emergency Management Agency pledged that putting smiles on the faces of those vulnerable people in hard-to-reach villages during this trying period is a task that must be done. Take a look.
This is Tolu in Yusufari local government area of Yobe State, with a distance of about 300 kilometers from Damaturu, the Yobe State capital. Tulo is one of the hard-to-reach communities in Yobe State, which sits on the border between Nigeria and Niger Republic. Tulo, which means the desert land of hope, has a stunningly gorgeous landscape with delightful palm trees and sensational hills of sand, enough to serve as an international tourism destination and oasis for academic research. A soap-making factory can also be localized here, as the community is blessed with huge deposit of potash, a natural mineral that is sourced from a black water in one of the oases, which is being ferried and supplied to most states in northern part of the country and beyond for domestic and livestock consumptions. The Mashi community, which is very strategic for transborder trade between the two neighboring West African countries, is grappling with lack of access road, electricity and telecommunication facilities, a situation that is making life exceedingly difficult for the dwellers, who are mostly farmers and livestock rearers.
A place like this need an urgent government intervention, because this place can serve as a place where the government can generate revenue because of this natural environment. People would like to visit, people would like to come. So I think a lot can be done and a lot can be achieved here in Tulo.
The inhabitants of this ancient community, like their counterparts across the country, are hard hit by the profoundly striking effects of COVID-19 pandemic, border closure, as well as pre-harvest period, which have added up to the numerous challenges bedeviling the electoral world for long. However, despite Tulu's remoteness due to its geographical location, Yobe State government, under its Emergency Food Support Initiative, has taken delivery of food and non-food items, where 200 heads of most vulnerable households in the community went home with something for their families to eat as solace to console their economic hardships.
So we will prioritize them as one of our priority communities in intervention periodically, and we will call on donors that, despite the nature of the terrain is accessible and is one of the peaceful environment and a serene environment, that they should come and assist our people.
The distribution exercise by the State Emergency Management Agency to the border communities was in fulfillment of pledge made to the donating partners in ensuring that the items get to the deserving beneficiaries no matter the terrain. From Tulu in Yusufari local government area, Yobe State, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Yunusa. You're watching News Extra. Still to come, federal government trains agricultural entrepreneurs aimed at boosting food production in the country.
How did I get here? It all started shortly after I graduated from MSTC, the Model Skills Training Center, with a certificate in ICT. I successfully developed a data management program that has been called the software of the future. Thanks to its success, everyone wants it, and as you can see, now everyone wants me. But I'm not alone. The skills training programs at MSTC are equipping young Nigerians to become the next big success story. Whether it's ICT, mechatronics, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, or culinary studies, a certificate at MSTC is the way of the future. And just like me, there he is. Everyone will want you to.
ITF, developing the nation's human resource. Issa too like football on Top Go TV. So they him forget say him be best man for him party wedding. Amaka disappoint her bobo all because of football. Kola and the family supposed come out, but then gas change plans because for this new football season, Go TV get correct football action will make sense. Get Go TV decoder, we come with 1 month Go TV Max subscription for only 9,500 naira. Go TV, live it, love it.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide a company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, Go TV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. Application for iOS or Android. Intelsat 901/332.5 degrees east. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Thanks so much for staying. In furtherance of the federal government's effort in the promotion of agricultural businesses and small-medium enterprises, a 3-day empowerment program to assist entrepreneurs fund and expand their businesses is being facilitated in Lagos. Uzezi Arure reports that the program is a collaboration between the National Directorate of Employment and Nigerians in Diaspora Commission.
The National Directorate of Employment, NDE, established in 1986 to design and implement job creation programs that promote attitudinal change, reduce poverty and unemployment, as well as enhance wealth creation, in collaboration with the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, puts together an entrepreneurship training for about 100 youths who are skillful but lack funds and the technical know-how to start up their businesses, to be self-reliant and employers of labor.
If you talk to our youths today, those who have graduated, they have a lot of ideas, but the issue is fund. And the government has ensured that the youths who have ideas to become entrepreneurs.
The chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri Erewa, represented, said the program is a synergy between the Commission, the Central Bank of Nigeria, and the Bankers Committee to empower youth for economic growth, which is one of the federal government's agenda to promote small and medium-scale enterprises in the country.
It's unending benefit to the government. Whatever income their business setup is going to generate will go back into the economy as tax, which the government can use for roadworks and other welfare programs.
The training has helped me a lot to be able to bring my ideas into reality.
I believe that this will help us as youth to help the economy.
The training, when completed, will empower successful participants with millions of naira as loans and other facilities for them to establish and sustain their businesses. In Lagos, Uzezi Arure, NTA News.
As part of efforts to stimulate economic development through investment in critical infrastructure, Ebonyi State Government has organized a special business forum to woo investors into the state. Kingsley Okoro tells us more.
Attended by chief executive officers of different business organizations within and outside Ebonyi State, President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief Nnianwodo, and other critical stakeholders say is part of government efforts to expose investors to its commitment in building infrastructure, security, and enabling the environment that will boost the investments, thereby making Ebonyi economic hub of the country.
There is a trade fair complex, the kind of which you can only find outside Nigeria. The infrastructural investment they need to begin their business here is already taken care of.
Is to partner to ensure that Ebonyi State becomes the #1 hub for industrial development.
Governor David Umahihu assured investors of enabling laws, said that the government will work with them to recoup their resources.
Bring your money and invest in Ebonyi State. Riverbed is a multi-billionaire, and I'm happy they are taking our cinema. They are bringing their TV in Ebonyi State. They are bringing their radio in Ebonyi State. Come to Ebonyi State. You will see peace. You will see security.
He called on Ebonyi people to return home and invest in a place where there is the needed infrastructure for their business to thrive. Signing of agreement with Silverbird Group and Computer Village Technology Merchants of Nigeria to take over the Ebonyi Shopping Mall climaxed the event. In Abakaliki, Kingsley Okoro, NTA News.
Continuous engagement with stakeholders to re-strategize, analyze activities of fraudsters and safeguard pensioners and their payments will not cease until Zero Fraud Pension Administration in Defined Benefit Scheme DBS is attained. This necessitated the maiden sensitization and capacity building for anti-graft and other related agencies on the DBS put together by Pension Transitional Arrangements Directorate. Haman Jabani reports.
Over the years, the pension industry has been swamped with complaints of extortion by frauds, calls demanding for money for quick computation and payment of outstanding liabilities, as well as scammers personating or posing as staff of Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate. The Directorate believes that a platform like this provides stakeholders in the industry an opportunity to contribute towards achieving a zero-fraud pension administration with defined benefit scheme that would translate to a better welfare for the pensioners.
PTAD is trying to take care of liabilities. Don't fall for these fraudsters. So we have come together with the agencies that are stakeholders in this project to look at other forms of fraud coming up and to re-strategize.
We'll further equip the anti-graft agencies with modern conventional techniques to work towards attaining zero fraud in the administration of defined benefit scheme.
Introduction of the contributory pension scheme and the establishment of PTAD as a result of the pension reforms have to a large extent sanitized the pension scheme in Nigeria.
PTAP got over 250 fraud-related complaints, 4 cases in court, received 161 files from Operation Depot of Investigation. Out of these, 129 treated and returned. Stakeholders have the belief that with this capacity building and better collaboration, PTAP will achieve more and save Nigerians their resources and improve their social life after retirement. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
This is News Extra, sports and weather updates after the break.
NTA News 24, a 24-hour news station, brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shores.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
StarTimes channel 101 and Free TV channel 703. Join us.
You're welcome to sports now. Nigeria's Super Eagles recently shot to a 7-year high on the FIFA ranking with the drawing commendation for the team. But how has coach Gernot Rohr been able to spearhead Nigeria's surge up the table? Badi Adelaire will be our guide.
Prior to the appointment of Gernot Rohr in August 2016, the Super Eagles were experiencing a free fall in the FIFA ranking, with Nigeria dropping to as low as 67th in the world and 16th in Africa. Evidently, the new man in charge was handed the task of revamping the team and taking them up the ranking. For Rohr, it was challenge accepted, and by August 2017, a great start to the 2018 World Cup qualifiers had seen Nigeria move up to 38th in the world and 6th in Africa. After a not too impressive outing at the Russia 2018 World Cup, the Eagles dropped to 49th in the world and 7th in Africa. But by September 2019, they had moved to 34th in the world and 3rd in Africa. Now, it's been a year after that, and the 2013 African champions are 29th in the world, whilst remaining 3rd on the continent.
If you play 49 games as a national team under Gernot Rohr and won 29 of those games, drawn 11 and lost 9 of those games, not too much of a bad result.
You cannot be paying a coach that huge and you say he shouldn't perform.
There have been some fond memories for Nigeria since the introduction of the ranking system by FIFA in December 1992. The peak was in April 1994 when the Super Eagles shot to 5th in the world rankings and 4th in Africa, a record yet to be matched by an African country. That then brings the big question about the possibility of the Super Eagles breaking into the top 5 in the world again.
Why not? But players must be challenged to really give their best.
We must play some top-graded friendly games with some top 10, top 15 nations with good results.
Analysts agree that Nigeria can again be ranked among the top 5 footballing nations in the world, which means it's no longer an issue of if, but when. Till then, the upcoming international friendlies and qualifying matches present the Super Eagles with another opportunity to move further up the table. In Abuja, Badi Adeleye, NTA News.
And away from sports, former President Olusegun Obasanjo and other dignitaries at the 3-day Fidao prayer for the late Emir of Zazzau, Shehu Idris, have described the late monarch as a bridge builder who stood firm for peace and tranquility. Suleiman Abdullah Hirigachukwu reports.
It was a gathering of political and traditional leaders, as well as religious clerics and the people. They have gathered to pray for the repose of the soul of the late monarch, who has united the people and left lasting legacies. Among the dignitaries at the Fidao prayer were former President Olusegun Obasanjo, some state governors and emirs. They all paid glowing tribute to the late monarch, especially over his firm stance for patriotism, humility, and good virtues.
A conciliator, a mediator,
man of peace, a man who shows no discrimination.
It is our prayer that God Almighty will grant him Al-Jannah Fidal, and that those of us that are left behind will have the fortitude, the courage to bear this irreplaceable.
Governor Nasru Ahmad El-Rufai acknowledged contributions of the late Emir towards successes he recorded in his strive to develop Kaduna State. He prayed Allah to bless Kaduna State with more patriotic leaders, as exemplified by late Sheikh Idris. As condolences continue, people of Zazzau Emirate await the announcement of a new monarch. From Zaria, Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachikun, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari condoles with the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, on the sad loss of his elder sister, Mrs. Moji Ladiji. A statement marked the special advisor to the president on media and publicity. The president equally condoles with the nuclear family of the deceased, the larger Fayose and Ladiji families, friends, relations and associates, and prays for God's comfort, urging them to take heart, since death is the ultimate end of all mortals. President Buhari prays that the soul of the departed will rest in peace. In the meantime, the death has been announced of Justice Jude Okeke, whose death occurred on Tuesday, 4th of August 2020. A valedictory court session will hold on Thursday, 24th of September 2020 at Anambra High Court, Onitsha at 10 a.m. as well as a vigil mass at his hometown in Ochudo Villa, Idemile, North Local Government Area of Anambra State at 5 p.m. Friday, 25th of September 2020. Body arrives his hometown at 9 a.m. for last respect by associates and family members, and a requiem mass at 11 a.m. at St. Alphonsus Catholic Church. Interment with follow immediately. He is survived by his family. Let's take a quick check on the weather prospects.
Hello and welcome. We have here a band of active weather systems bearing down on us and over the country. This should propagate westwards, giving prospects of early morning thunderstorms over southern Kaduna, the Federal Capital Territory, Niger, Kwara, southern Borno, Adamawa, Taraba, Gombe, and the southwestern region. Light to moderate thunderstorms are expected over the southeast states. We still expect some of this weather by afternoon, some down to rains and a few thunderstorms. Prospects are higher to the northwest, while light evening rains are expected over the southeast and a few thunderstorms to the central and northeastern flank, giving us what should be a wet and cool day.
Well, with that, we conclude News Extra for tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I am Fatima Umar Buba. Continue to stay safe. Good night.